Okay, I'm going to finish Numbers. I'm going to start in chapter 22. So now we know the Israel's finally having wars and taking lands and possessing it. So far they've went to war and they've took no captives. They've killed all. Didn't leave none alive. So now they're pitched in the plains of Moab on the side of Jordan by Jericho. And Balak, the son of Zippor, saw that Israel had done to the Amorites, and he was afraid of them. So he called a soothsayer named Balaam to curse them. Now Balaam was like a sorcerer. He dealt with spirits and he had powers. But yet, he knew God also. Because God came to him in a dream and asked him, "Who are these men with you?" And he told him, "They sent me to curse a people." And God told him not to go with them, for the people are blessed, and not to curse them. And he rose up and told him that the Lord refused him to go. Now he could have listened to other spirits and went. So this here shows that there's spirits that do exist, and they're powerful, but God is the Almighty powerful. Because he listened to God, he didn't go. He refused him. So the prince sent for him again and told him he'll give him great honor and give him anything he wants if he cursed the people. And Balaam told him, "If you'll give me a house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the words of the Lord. To do less or do more." So he's going to sell out for riches. Money will make a man do strange things. And God came to him again and told him to go with him, but you'll speak what I tell you to speak. Now when God was talking to him, it was in a dream. So he rose up in the morning with his ass, and he rode towards Moab. And the angel of the Lord was standing in the way with a sword drawn in his hand. He was going to kill Balaam. But his ass saw the angel, and he turned aside out of the way and went to the field. And Balaam smote his ass. And then the Lord's angel stood there in the path of the vineyards, and the wall being on the side. And on that side, the ass saw the angel again, and he thrust against the wall and crushed Balaam's leg. And he saw the angel again, and he fell down. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he hit the ass with his staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass and told him, "What have I done to you that you smite me 3 times?" And Balaam told him, "Because you mocked me. If there were a sword in my hand, I'd kill you." And the ass told him, "I'm not your ass that you ride on, ever since I was and to this day." And the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel standing there with the sword drawn. And he fell down on his face. And the angel told him, "Why have you hit your ass 3 times? You know, he was trying to save you from me killing you." And then he told him, "You swear, you speak what I tell you to speak when it comes to the children of Israel." So he went, and they came upon a place, and then the king was asking him to curse Israel. But for some reason he couldn't curse him. Every time he did it 3 times. And every time he said something, he'd always bless him. He never could curse him. So then they went their ways. I mean, it's more into it than what all he said and all that. But I mean, I'm just like I say, summing it up. Like I say, there's powers in the words, and there's powers in this world. So then Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab, and they started worshiping Baal Peor, which is a god of the Moabites. And they sacrificed to him, which they did human sacrifices, and they ate with them and bowed down to the gods. And God was angry, so he told Moses to get the men together and kill them. So they killed about 24,000 people that turned to other gods. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, turned his wrath away, that he may not consume them. Because one of the men of Israel brought a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and all the congregation, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle. And then the priest's son saw it, and he ran and killed him and stabbed a javelin through the man's head, or through the tent, and through both of them, through the man of Israel and through the woman's belly. So the plague was stayed. So he took good upon himself to stop the anger of God. And then God tells them to vex the Midianites and smite them, for they vexed you with their wiles, for they beguiled them in the manner of Peor. So then 26 goes through, and they name the new generation of the Israelites are numbered, and they go through, and their sons and their families, and how many they are. And then it goes to the laws of inheritance. Basically, if people die, who gets their inheritance and all that. Your firstborn and your secondborn. If you don't have any kids, and your brother would get it, and all this. So the Lord told Moses to get up on the mount of Abraham, of Abiram, and see the land which He's going to give to the children of Israel. So he can, and after he sees it, he'll be gathered to his people and die, because they rebelled and didn't speak to the rock, but he smote it twice. And he basically had the priest, and he took Joshua, and he's going to make Joshua the leader of the Israelites to lead them through their land to their inheritance. And they took Joshua and set him before the priest Eleazar and before the congregation, laid his head upon him, and gave him charge as the Lord commanded the hand of Moses. And then chapter 28 goes where the Lord is telling Moses about the order of offerings and festivals, and they go through that and the different sacrifices and when to do this and when to keep the festivities. And 29 still the same thing, the different offerings and which days to offer what and what purpose for. Chapter 30 is about the vows, basically dealing with a man and husband and all that, or woman and the husband, sorry, and the vows and how they go about, people's vows and the laws for the vows. So in chapter 31, they go up against the Midianites. So they gather their armies together, and they go to war, and they used to kill them all. But then they come back and they brought captives, the prey and the spoil. They brought women and children, and they saw it. Moses and the priest saw it, and they was angry. And he asked them, "Why'd you save the women alive?" Because they was the one that caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit a trespass against the Lord to worship Baal Peor. And there's a plague among the congregation of the Lord. So they made them kill every male of the kids, every little boys, and every woman that wasn't a virgin. Now through this war, so they killed all the kids, all the women that wasn't a virgin, and then they had to abide without the camp for 7 days because they was unclean. And then the rest, it basically says what all they divided the prey and all that. And during that war, through that war, whenever they went against them, they killed Balaam, because he dwelt there, so he died. The one that tried to curse the Jews, which he did curse them because they failed to worship another gods. And now he did both, and he knew the true God, yet he worshipped other gods. And God even came to him in dreams. He had dreams and visions, but yet he still knew other gods and went to them for counsel instead of going to the real God, the true God. So as they're going through their journeys and stuff, the tribe of Reuben and the tribe of Gad and half the tribe of Manasseh wanted to stay on that side of Jordan, of the river Jordan. And so they had to make a vow. Basically, their women and their children and their cattle stayed, but the men of war went with them until the conquest was done, to where they got their lands for their inheritance and their possession. Chapter 33 goes to basically reviewing their journey from Egypt to Moab. And this says, you know, basically what'll happen. And then the instruction for possessing the lands is, you know, you'll divide the lot for inheritance and drive out everybody, kill them all, get them out of there. Because if you have them left, remainder of them, there'll be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and they'll vex you in the land wherein you dwell. So when you're moving forward and you got negative people in your life, you got to get them out of there, because there'll be thorns in your sides and pricks to your eyes. And then it goes through the division of the land of Canaan and the boundaries and the allotments. And basically, like I say, you go on my Facebook page, a look at the Bible through the eyes of a sinner. I got a map on there, my photos and stuff, and kind of shows the allotments of the land and how it was divided. And you can kind of compare what it is today, and they ain't got nowhere near as much as they should have, which they will get it back. And then throughout their cities, they'll have cities for the Levites, and you'll have cities of refuge. Basically, if a man kills somebody and all that, he can flee there and stay there, and he won't be hurt until it's time for his judgment to stand before the congregation and be judged. And then chapter 36 goes to the inheritance of women, and basically, you know, women didn't have the same rights as the men did. And you know, if one tribe didn't have a son, they just had daughters, she got the rights. And then, you know, but she had to marry in other tribes and all that to keep it in the family, basically. And so that goes to the end of Numbers. So basically we learn that God gets fed up with people that keep doing wrong, unintentionally and intentionally. He's a jealous God. You know, it's good to serve Him. We see Balaam, and he served other gods, but yet God spoke to him in visions. And God is almighty. And now we're seeing that when we do move forward in life, we got to get the negative things out, because there'll be thorns to our sides. Especially them, I mean, even though it's war and they're going to war and they're not supposed to take any prisoners, they're supposed to kill all and take it and get them out of there. But you know, I'm not saying kill people to get them out your life, but it's good to just kill the relationship with people that are going to bring you down when you're trying to move forward. And we've seen a lot of miracles happen, signs and wonders through God using Moses. And Moses in Deuteronomy coming up next, it'll be his time to end. And Joshua will take over, lead, and Eleazar will be the high priest to lead them to their lands. And like I say, it's history. It's true history, I believe. And it's true future, which it shows also. It's like you're reading about the past and the future, really, when you think about it. But that is Numbers. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and I hope it makes sense. And it's not too scattered out and all sideways and all that, and it's easy to follow. And I challenge you to read your Bibles and prove me wrong in what I'm telling you, and so that we may learn together and get closer to God. Thank you.